Right, so these are all my pieces cut out. Front and back, the backing, the front pocket, the top, as I put, the top and the back pocket. It's always useful to label your pieces when you're doing big patchwork like this, because believe me, I have cut out a nice big piece and then realised that, oh, I need some small pieces. Oh, it's the same fabric as that. Okay, I'll cut that. And lo and behold, I've cut my 10-inch square into 6-inch and 4-inch pieces. It's not a good idea. So I've learnt from my mistakes and we now label everything. Okay, so this is the first one. I'm now going to put the back pocket and the front pocket so that I have got to put interfacing onto these now. So I've now put the interfacing onto the back pocket and the front pocket. I've used, well, it's kind of lightweight, so I've put it on the whole piece. If you've got really strong interfacing, something that's firm that you've already used previously, just put it onto what will eventually become the front. So you want, I'm using a one-way fabric, so I would just put it onto that piece there, and the same with the back. But because mine is quite, it's not very stiff, but it's all that I had, and I'm a frugal sewer. I don't like spending my money on stuff that I don't see. So they've been interfaced, and then I've folded them in half lengthwise so that we've now got a nice front and a back pocket. And the next stage now will be, if you want, it's optional, you can put some nice decorative stitching along the front of it. So that's what I'm going to be doing next. Right, so I've had a bit of a disaster because I've recorded the video, but I didn't manage to record the sound. Don't know why, don't ask me. So I'm hoping this is going to be like take 300 and it'll be fine. So we've got the front and we've got the top and we've got the back, and they have all been stitched together using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Once I've stitched them together, I have pressed the seam open and flat, just my preference. Do it however you want. I used to press to the dark side. So with this, if I've got a light fabric and a dark fabric, I would press the seam over to the dark side. You wouldn't see it. You can see it there, but I'm quite happy with that. It's fine. When you've stitched it and pressed it, what you then need to do is create your quilt sandwich. So that is attaching your quilt topper to your wadding and your backing fabric. So I have followed the instructions that Jack has put on. She has converted me to using the spray adhesive. So I've sprayed the adhesive and laid it all up. So that's the stage that we're at there. And then I have done a quilting stitch, which you can see here, I've gone off just slightly here off stitching the ditch. There we go. So I've just done a quilting stitch along the central panel because I don't know what design I'm going to use on my backing. So this is the stage that we're at now, and I'm hoping to goodness that that has recorded sound as well as video, and I'm really sorry, but I can't undo it and start again.
So that's the back done, and now I'm going to take the front, exactly the same size, so it doesn't really matter where they are, and I am going to pin that along, matching up the edges, and just put, well, you know me, I like to do it in the middle first so that I can make sure that the edges marry up, and you can keep your pins way out of the way of the sewing machine. Yeah, my edges are marrying up. Yep, pin that. So now 1/4 inch down this side. So those are my main front pieces sewn together, ready to put on the backing and the batting, make the sandwich. So now, in the same way as I normally do, I've cut my backing and I've cut my batting, and I'm going to put my top on top. Giving myself a few inches all the way round. Well, a few inches, and a good inch or so all the way round. And now I'm going to spray stick it. Okay, so I'm going to stitch in a ditch to secure it to the backing and the wadding, and then I'm going to have a think about how I'm going to quilt it.
Right, so I found my fabric. I've got a small cutting ruler. I found my fabric. This is the same as the backing fabric, just because I haven't got it on the front, and it's quite pretty. It's quite nice. So first of all, I'm going to use my big ruler and I'm going to straighten up the edge. Just cut the selvage off. You see what I'm doing? You can't. There, you can see what I'm doing there. Right, okay, I'll have to remember that. I just want to cut the selvage off. Get rid of that. And then I want just a small square. I'm just using my ruler because it's easier. This has got non-slip dots on the back. So this will be how not to do it. Jackie will be saying, "What are you doing it like that for?" Yeah, well, I'm doing it like that because I'm in a hurry. Doesn't have to be dead precise, this one. You're not matching your seams, you're not making a huge quilt, you're just cutting a bit of fabric. Make sure it's straight. And across there. There we go. Little square. That's it. Oops. There we go. Right, we don't need that. I'll fling that up there with the other machine. Oh, sorry. I just kicked the tripod then. Right, so now we'll put that down there. I need some wadding. This, again, I got it from Dunelm. It was, I don't know, ages ago. Cheap wadding. I'm just going to make a pad. Simple, like that. Smaller than your square. And cut it to fit. This is an offcut. These scissors are old. Right,
so you can see by this photograph now that we lost a bit of video. Looking at it, you can see that we've done lines in the central line up between the two pockets, and we've done some addition to the sides, in as much as on Margaret she's added ribbons that she ties on the side, but on the next picture you will see on mine that I actually made some tabs and put some poppers on it, you know, and then we both quilted it in different fashions. I've done mine with a ruler, she's done hers using a lovely stitch that she has on her machine. Then I decided on my one that I would actually put a hole in and satin stitch around it for my handle to come up, so I didn't have to take the cover off if I wanted to move it. If you want to see how I did the faux piping on my pockets, then that's shown in detail on our next video regarding the overlocker cover, so you can see all of that then. Now here is a picture of the feedback we got from the group of other people's makes and how theirs looked, and oh, it's quite marvellous, really. So thank you very much to all of them.